It's a real privilege for me to be here because it's so seldom that I get to be among people who are much taller than I am. So thank you, Daniel. It is a privilege to be with Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown and I were fledgling assistant professors together at DePaul, and that was some of our best times, and it's been a delight to be reacquainted with her, and congratulations, Nora, it's great. Thank you. And I have the privilege of introducing Jocelyn Jones, and I wish I could tell you that I've known Miss Jones forever, but that's not the case. But I can tell you that she's a person of encounter, and encounter is a key component of mercying. Go to places of encounter, people of difference, people who are marginated, people who are outside the mainstream. Go and seek them out intentionally and see what their gifts and their value is and bring them forward and accompany them to a better place. No judgment, no blame, no paying you back, just accompany them to a better place. And as I read Ms. Jones's curriculum vitae, it was fabulous. What a person of encounter, huh? You would know her work on behalf of children. You can imagine what it is at 79th and Racine to walk down the streets of the bungalows after bungalows, the 6 flats and the 3 flats, the corner stores and the kids hanging on them. That's the place of encounter for Ms. Jones. That's where she sees kids who are being trafficked, folks who are on drugs, and somebody else who has a past, as she said, but she can offer a future. I know she's a person of encounter because she's been mercying before she even knew what the word meant. She's been mercying when she was working for Channel 20 as an educator. I'm sure she was mercying when she got her bachelor's degree in communications and journalism from the University of Iowa. I'm sure she was mercying and doing places of encounter when she came back to the south side of Chicago to serve as many people as she could, working with Mike Flager on the south side. And I'm so pleased to be among so many people who speak south side and who love south side and who understand south side. I think Ms. Jones has been wonderful because she's been with kids. She's had to work with Mike Flager for all these years. That's an accomplishment in itself. Mike Flager and I go back a long way. He was not a priest and I was not yet a sister, but we worked on the west side of Chicago together. But Ms. Jones is a really, really exciting person, and what a dynamo. What a wonderful person of mercying and encounter. So I'm very pleased to present on behalf of the Ward Foundation the Community Engagement Award for her mercying work of encounter at St. Sabina as Executive Director of the ARC.
Thank you so much for this honor. Really briefly, I want to thank the Ward Foundation for selecting me for this privilege. I do want to especially thank Elijah. I don't know where you are. You're probably still running around this room doing everything, but I know your parents would be proud. My friend Dan, a colleague, a brother in the struggle, a man who I respect. You're a living testimony of what God can do for a person, through a person. And so I'm thankful for you and your work. Recognizing my parents, mom and dad, my brother and St. Sabina family for being here. And obviously, I want to just recognize my pastor, Father Flager, for just giving me a chance to serve in this role. I wouldn't be who I am today without him. It goes without saying, moments like this, I feel so full, and all I can describe myself as being is favored. because I understand I stand here by the grace of God. And so when I say favored, if I can just explain, I'll give just an explanation of why I chose those words. A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go to the Proctor Conference. The Proctor Conference is named after Samuel DeWitt Proctor. And he passed away, but they played a sermon that he had given many years ago. And in this sermon, he described a scratch line. In each and every one of us, when we're born in this world, we're positioned either above the scratch line or beneath the scratch line. And he reminded us, when we come in this world owning nothing, having earned nothing. We're in debt to everybody. We're just born. We didn't even ask to be here. But sometimes, some of us, when we come out into this world, we look up and blessings just fall down on us like rain, just like me. And I was born into a two-parent household with parents who loved me and gave me everything that I needed. I went to the best schools. I was in every extracurricular activity you can think of. I figure skated, I played basketball, played tennis, I did everything, right? Parents were there for me. Then college, that's what you do. They told me, you go to college, you better yourself through education. This was instilled in me. This is something I inherited. This is nothing that I earned, but I was born above the scratch line. But then there's those people that many of us serve, like the Elijah Ward Foundation and St. Sabina, who they were born in different circumstances. They were born beneath the scratch line, in areas where poverty and inequality and poor school systems surround them. And they walk through shattered dreams because of some of the systemic issues like mass incarceration and broken families and drugs. They were born beneath the scratch line. And he said something to me that pierced my heart like a sword. He said something in his sermon. He said that those of us who were born above the scratch line, like myself, who inherited privileges that we did not earn or deserve, we have an obligation to reach across that scratch line and reach down and help those who inherited deficits that they did not earn or deserve. And that's why we do this work. That's why we're here today. This is why the Ward Foundation exists, because there's people out there who weren't given the privileges that some of us have had. And so I encourage all of us in the spirit of the Ward family, Mr. and Mrs. Ward, that we have to look beyond ourselves and our personal agendas and try to find the greatness inside of us. And I'm not talking about the greatness that many of us see in the world of fortune and fame. I'm talking about greatness for the woman who volunteers every Thursday night at the soup kitchen because she wants to give back to the homeless. I'm talking about the greatness of a person who volunteers to read to kids who are illiterate on their block because they know that they need someone to see them and see the possibility in them and believe in them. That's the greatness I'm talking about. And when we start to deal with these issues and tap into the greatness that God put inside of us, because I believe that everyone has a calling and a purpose to make a difference, and when we start to reach across that scratch line down to those who need our help, that's when we'll start seeing change in our community. And so I thank you for this honor, I thank you for this privilege, but I encourage you to walk away today searching for that greatness inside of you and seeing who you can help to make a difference in their life. Thank you.